Triple G, in my not-so-humble opinion, is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
I mean, everybody has to realize that he's the best middleweight in the world.
Sorry, Floyd, but Floyd, you're a fantastic boxer and a fantastic defensive fighter, but you don't punch like Triple G.
%90 knockout ratio. That's the highest in middleweight boxing history.
You go ahead and name any fighter from 154 to 168 pounds that can beat him. I can't think of anybody.
All of his title defenses, I think it's 12 titles, all by knockout. Never been done before.
I love Big Bear because, you know, my focus to my fight just 100% in Big Bear, just not relaxed, very serious situation, just I have time.
This training camp came a little earlier than I wanted him. He came 9.5 weeks before the fight. Generally, it's only 8 weeks for him, so I had to slow things down a little bit so that we don't go over the top with him.
Oh, training is very hard, you know. Everybody who come in Big Bear just understand it's hard work.
I tell people all the time, it's the toughest job in the world, man. Tough job. You know, every day he comes to train hard.
Gennady Golovkin is a fascinating force of nature in boxing. You know, he's this lovely guy outside the ring who is, you can't help but like. And then he steps in the ring and he destroys people. And even though we're still at a time with Gennady Golovkin where we're looking for that one big match, I don't think anybody could doubt the fact that he is a competent boxer, he knows how to fight, and he's got huge power. And what I really hope is that Gennady Golovkin can get big fights so that we can find out really how good he is, and so that he can create a body of work in the middleweight division that will stand the test of time.
When I get into a discussion with some of my friends like Dan Raphael says, well, I can't make him #1. And I said, why not, Dan? Because he hasn't fought any of the elite fighters. I said, that's only because they're all ducking him.
I don't necessarily think they're ducking him. I think it's boxing has become such a business. Legacies and big bank accounts are more important than proving that you're the best in a particular division.
For me, my goal is I want a unification fight. Because for me, very important who is #1 in middleweight division.
There has been several fighters that have, I'm not gonna say ducked him, but have taken other fights instead of one against Gennady. Eventually, if Tom continues to do what he's doing, he's gonna corner everybody and they won't have an opportunity to do that.
The strategy on my side, you know, Abel develops a strategy inside the ring. I have to develop the strategy outside the ring because we don't have a lot of willing opponents.
He is the mandatory contender now. The WBC champion has to fight him before the end of the year. Next year, maybe he does it with the WBO or the IBF, and before you know it, there's only so many exits, and those guys are gonna have to step up to the plate, and also the public, I think, will demand that too.
You know, this is first fight, first step for this year.
February 21st, Monte Carlo, Martin Murray.
You know, my focus on Martin Murray right now. He's a big guy, he's a strong guy.
He's fought in Monte Carlo 2 times, probably one of the top middleweights. He's the #1 rated in the WBC. He's much bigger than Gennady, so he's a very dangerous opponent.
He had 2-3 times title fight. Right now, maybe this last time for him. You know, he understands the situation and he's more motivation, more hungry right now. I think it's a good fight.
You know, with HBO's financial help and the advertising and with the ticket sales and the sponsorships, I mean, Gennady's really broken to the next level. I would say he's right at the top of any of the boxers that hasn't fought on pay-per-view yet.
Thank you very much for my fans, for my American fans, Mexican fans, of course just Germany fans, Russian fans. Last 4 years I living in California and my family living in California. Next year my son going to school in California, just a lot of respect.
His name is really popular in the United States and I hope so we will be pay-per-view fighter next year.
I think 2015 is going to be a great year. We would start with the fight in Monte Carlo in February, then we'd look for to come back in the States, and then I think the sky's the limit for Gennady.